Hey y'all, what's up? I am so sorry that I missed yesterday. Let me tell y'all, I was in the bed. I looked up at the time and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, so let me go live tonight because I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I've been on back-to-back vacations with my family, and then I went on a birthday trip with my friend. And yeah, and then I'll be going again on another trip in 30 days. So I was like, I gotta get on here and I gotta talk to you guys. And I got to check in and see what's been up, what you guys have been doing. Have you guys followed through with, excuse me, the goals that we had um, established some weeks ago? Hold on just a second. So before I jump into my unfiltered thoughts on hot topics in the notary world, let me introduce myself. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Bergeau. You can also call me Elise. I am the owner of Elise Notary Services, as well as the president and founder of the Notary Education Group. Every Sunday is when I'm supposed to go live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk to you guys about notary and business related topics, discuss some tips, and answer your questions in real time. Um, if you like what you see and hear, please share it because other people who are just in the same situation as you would absolutely love to hear what I have to say and learn what I do so that they can do it too. All right. So if you are here watching, please tell me who you are and where you're watching from. I would really like to know. So I have been on vacation, like I said, from back to back. And just because I've been on vacation does not mean I have not had my ear to the notary world and what's going on. Okay, so it seems that there is still a lot of talk about notary being oversaturated. There's no business. You can't make it out here, and that is a myth. Okay, that is a myth. Now, I get phone calls, because I do the 30-minute free calls for you guys to call in and ask questions. And I have gotten a few questions that I've basically been very blatant in answering, and my answer is not going to change. Okay. Is notary oversaturated? No. But let me put another bug in your ear. What about beauty salons? What about fast food restaurants? What about any other business you can think about? You have people doing a lot of the same thing everywhere. And notary is no different. So is notary oversaturated? No, it's not. We need multiple notaries because one notary for one community is not going to work when you have people who need you at the same time. You can only be in one place at one time. And if people have time sensitive documents, if they have a schedule that doesn't coincide with what your schedule does, then they're going to need to see someone else. They're not going to be able to come to you. So you need other notaries to be able to fulfill the needs of the community. And that's how you guys got to think about it. It's not so much as we're competition. We're all in this to serve a purpose, okay? And that is to serve the public when they need us. I was gone on vacation. I have been on back to back vacations. So, do you think that my customers are going to wait? No, I need to send them to someone else who can help them in my absence. All right. I don't expect for them to wait for me. Now, I do have some clients who they did wait for me, and because my calendar, I had blocked out the time and the availability that I had was not blocked out, they booked me for that time. So, when I got back, I have been busy nonstop. I got back Monday of last week and I have been busy every day of the week. Okay. And today was no different. So I just got right back into the swing of things. And for some of you, you have not moved forward to have that happen. It's like you're stunned, and this is why when I talk to you guys and when I go through all of the different steps to try to get you there, I literally cannot push you to do it. You're either going to do it or you're not. All right. And so we have other people in the group who are talking about the fees again. It's like the notary fees are like a broken record. What you guys have to understand is that everybody is not going to accept the same fee across the board. Okay. Everybody's financial needs are not even the same. So if I take $85 signing, that's 45 minutes away and it's 160 pages, and I print it out twice, that's on me. That's not on you. And another notary across town may do it for $125 and get it. And then another notary may get it for $225. Am I mad because I took it for 85? No, because what works for me doesn't work for the next person. And we're not supposed to be setting the price the same across the board everywhere. It's not going to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that because we are in an industry where we still have to be competitive. All right, so we're not so much just competing against each other, but prices need to be competitive so that people have choices. The consumers must have choices. Think about yourself as a consumer. You want choices, right? You don't want to know that wherever you go for this one thing, it's going to be the same price. You're going to shop and you want to get the best price and you still want to get the best service. Okay. Some people don't care about how much money they spend. Some people don't care about the quality and vice versa. So we have to still be competitive and people still need to have options. All right. So stop thinking, well, if you set this for 85, then it's going to be 85 for everybody. No, it's not. Still charge what you charge. Your fee is your fee. Okay. And you don't need to be worried about the fee that I take as long as you're comfortable and are able to provide a service at the fee that you're charging. Because I tell you, some of you guys are charging the $200 and you're not giving $200 worth of service. I'll tell you that. All right. And when you when you are marketing yourself, you need to know that clients are looking not just to receive notary service. They're looking for someone who is going to be transparent with them, someone who's going to be a problem solver, somebody who's going to be resourceful. All of that makes you the ideal notary to work with. Okay, so you don't want to be like everybody else. You want to be unique. So what gives you a unique edge? What gives me a unique edge is that I am really good with people. All right. I am a problem solver. I'm a self starter. All you got to do is give me what you need, tell me what needs to be done, and I'm going to get it done. My clients enjoy knowing that they can send me what they need. And instead of me messaging them back and forth, well, what about this? What about this? And what about this? How you want me to do this? I just get it done. And I get it done the right way. And they don't have to worry about it. They know that they can send me the info and they know that a little bit after the scheduled time, they're going to get their documents back and they're going to go on with the rest of their process and they don't have to worry about any hiccups. That's what people are looking for. So stop trying to cut corners and cut edges, and trying to do things that are not correct because you want to try to make it as fast. It doesn't need to be fast, it just needs to be efficient. Create an efficient process for yourself. I worked really hard to get my processes to be the way that they are. They were not just out of the box on the first day. Every process that I have came up with was created by my customers and them expressing their expectations and their needs. And that is how you have to build your business. And you're not going to find out what they expect of you and what their needs are until you start taking appointments. Take the appointments. In the beginning, it shouldn't just be about the money, it should be about you learning what your customers need. I have some people who reach out to me and they're like, I really don't want to do in person, I want to do online. The only way you're going to do online is by getting referrals. Okay. You can market it like crazy and you're going to get a handful of people. Hey, Stephanie. You're going to get a handful of people who are going to want to use you for online notary, but they're really looking for reviews of anyone else who's used you for online notary services. They want to know that you know how to facilitate that process so that it's not stressful on them, because the key to building your business for online is making sure that you have packed a whole lot of patience, because working with technology is not easy. And it's even harder when you're trying to get someone else to work with it who is not that savvy when it comes to technology. So I tell people, if you are trying to, create your business where you're getting all online, you still want to cater to your local community so that you can get that word of mouth. I tell you guys all the time, and I'll continue telling you because I'm not lying. All of my direct clients were referrals. I have not marketed directly to any of the big clients that I have. They found me or they were referred to me, and they continue to use me because they know that I am going to make the process stress free. I even have customers who, well, I'm sorry, I have clients who send their customers to me after they have attempted to do an online session and it was not successful. And it makes them feel like, I wasted my time. I should have just called Bergeau anyway, because I know that Bergeau is going to get it done and I don't have to go through this. And I've had customers, the signer will come on with me and we'll go through the process, and they never tell you in the beginning what happened. They always tell you after you're done. So I'm done with the signing, and they say, you know what, I'm so happy they sent me to you because I went to another notary today and they were not able to get this done and they made the process so frustrating. And so they told me, don't worry, we're going to send you to our other notary. She knows exactly how to get this done and you're not going to have any problems. And so when I hear that, I'm like, wow, okay. That makes me happy that they think so highly of me and my work. And so you're not going to just be able to come out the gate doing online if you are not experienced in doing the notary itself. Like I said, so many people try to cut the corners and they try to take the shortcuts, but you don't want to take the shortcuts, because doing the process is what's going to get you to where you're trying to go. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right. What is some other topics I've seen? I don't want to do general notary. I only want to do loan signings. Or I don't want to do any loan signings. I just want to do general notary. Well, general notary can also be real estate, because sometimes you'll be called to do a quick claim deed, or maybe a ladybird deed, or maybe you got to do a corrective deed. Deeds are real estate. So you can't just say you don't want to do that, because now you're kind of narrowing down um, the types of documents that you want to notarize. And for a notary, you want to be available for any type of document, because we literally can notarize anything at this point. It's just about you making sure that it's compliant for the notarization. So if you're given a handwritten letter, you can notarize that. You watch them sign, you attach a loose certificate, and the notarization of their choice is what you're going to attach. Um, Sometimes you're going to get loan modifications, and for anybody who's not familiar with loan modifications, that's a modification on a loan that they are behind 3 months or more in paying. So sometimes the bank will send the signers the documents, and it's up to the signers to find a notary. So don't count out general notary, because if you're going to be doing general notary, you may very well handle real estate documents, period. If you're saying you don't want to work with signing services, okay, I get that. If you're saying you don't want to work for a title company who has a high level of, a high traffic of closings, I understand that too. That type of stuff can get stressful, especially when they're trying to rush and close and you review the documents. Or how about you don't even get time to review the documents? You're just seeing the documents for the first time, just like the signer, and you find issues, and they have to redraft documents, and now you got to reprint them. Totally get it. Very stressful. Yes, it is. But that's where the experience comes. I will tell you, 2 years ago, I didn't have the real estate experience that I have now, even though I've been doing this for 5 years. And that's because when I was working my full-time job, I couldn't take as many closings as I wanted to. I go to a closing, it's going to take me at least 30 minutes to complete, because I get there, you chit-chatting with the signer, checking IDs. Sometimes they don't have the ID ready when you get there, even though you told them to have it ready. Now they're getting out their ID. We already got 10 minutes. I walk in the door, sit down, getting stuff out my bag. That's 10 minutes right there. Then I got to fill out the journal, and then I got to take out the documents, got to take out my pens, take out my stamp. Now we're looking at 15 minutes. So if you can complete the signing in 15 minutes, you're still been there 30 minutes. So at minimum, so I couldn't tear away from my full-time job to be gone that long. And that's just 30 minutes there. That's not counting my travel. So now I've been gone from work for almost an hour, and now they're looking for me like, what's going on, right? So I couldn't take that many. But since I've been full-time, I take everything, okay? Within reason, obviously, if it coordinates with my schedule. But I take everything now. And so, because I do so many closings, I've recognized what documents are supposed to be in certain types of closings. And so, my clients love that because if I'm looking at documents and I notice something's missing, and I bring it to their attention, they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Give us a second. They appreciate that. So, building up the uniqueness for people wanting to work with you is what I'm getting at. You want to build the business, then you want to learn everything about it. You want to get the experience. There's no way that I would have gotten the experience that I just explained to you from sitting at home going through my loan document book that the NNA has. You're not going to get anywhere with that. You're going to get further by having the real life experience because, like I said, nobody expects you to know everything. But the more that you do, the more you're going to know. And so you could come off as being the person that knows everything. People think I know everything. And I still to this day have, from time to time, I come across something that I'm just not familiar with. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is new. And I don't treat it like it's not. I will admit, like, this is new for me. But I still approach it with the same expertise. Okay. What are some other things I've seen in groups? Um, Witnesses. People are complaining about having to provide witnesses. That should not be a complaint. It really shouldn't, because it might just make you a preferred notary if they know that every time they reach out to you, and if the signing does require a witness, that you can provide one, that may make you more preferred than a person who never has a witness that they can provide. How can you get witnesses? Simply just ask in these notary groups, see if somebody's nearby. One thing I did was I asked my neighborhood Facebook group, and I got a bunch of my neighbors who were like, yeah, I work from home. That'll be extra money for me. And sometimes I use my witnesses a lot. Last week, while one of my other witnesses was on vacation, I had to use another of my witnesses, and they made 150 bucks off of me last week. So being able to be a witness, all you're doing is showing up and signing one or two documents at most. And you're getting paid $25 for that. And the majority of my work is online. So they're literally just signing onto their phone or a computer or tablet, wherever they are in a quiet space, watching my signer signing, and then logging off. And they made 25 bucks. Okay. It also helps you to get a little bit of experience. If this is something that you are interested in doing, because I do a good amount of my closings online, you get a chance to experience that and how it works and the ins and outs. because some of my signings are not cut and dry. Some of them last for hours. And that's simply because I may have a signer who is not tech savvy, or maybe they're somewhere where the connection is really bad and they're going in and out, they're having to refresh continuously. Or maybe the documents did need to be redrafted. Now I have to wait for new documents. So then we just sit there and engage in just regular conversation. Anything can happen. But for the most part, most of my signings are, 7 to 15 minutes tops, and then we're off of there. Okay. And I pay my witnesses every week, whether I get paid or not, because you have some people, well, you got to wait till I get paid in 30 days. I try my best to make sure I pay everyone at the end of the week because why should you have to wait 30 days to get paid? I'm going to get the money anyway. So it's like if I got it in the account, I'll just pay you and I'll just wait for my money because I'm going to get paid back the witness fee anyway. So being a team player, I said all that to say that. Be a team player. Okay. Remember, we're not working for the clients, we're working with them. Okay, we're not their employee. We're not a W-2. We're a 1099. We're independent contractor. So when they call you, they want you to work with them to achieve a goal, which is getting this closed so that we all can make some money. So if you are resourceful, you're a team player, you're easy to work with, most likely you're going to be on the list of people that they want to work with all the time. Okay. So don't get all up in arms because they always want a witness. Why do I got to provide a witness? You don't have to, but they can find someone who has no problem with doing it. Now, I did have a new request come about, and I do want you guys to reach out to me if you do this, looking for couriers. Okay, if you're familiar with what a courier does, a courier is a person who will travel to where I am, pick up documents that I've already had executed and notarized and deliver them to the title office or the attorney office for which I completed the signing for. And the reason they want this sometimes because they want to do the closing same day. They don't want to wait for it to get in the mail. And this is for in person, obviously. So if I'm unable to do the travel, then I will contact you and you will be paid a fee to pick the documents up and drop them off. Okay. So if you are a courier, if this is a service that you offer, please reach out to me. I am located in Florida, okay, in Port St. Lucie. So you will probably travel anywhere from 50 miles and more. You know, obviously, I wouldn't ask you to travel like 4 or 5 hours, but I mean, if they're going to pay for it, why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying for it. They're going to pay for it. They're going to pay me. I'm going to pay you. That's how that's going to work. So, yeah, definitely reach out to me. You can email me. You can send me a text. I do prefer email because that's something that I can forward over to my client and let them know that I have someone that does offer this service and we can use them whenever you do need to have documents delivered same day. So my goal is always is to be a one-stop shop. That's what helps me stand out. I have interpreters. I have um, translators, I do apostles, and now I can offer the courier as an additional service because some of my clients do want it. And some of them, they, some of them, I will do the travel. I have done the 50-mile travel, but that's contingent, sorry, that's contingent upon whether or not I have anything scheduled within that time frame. If I don't have a customer scheduled immediately after that one, then of course I can do it. But if I have a full schedule, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that travel and come back and then make it to my other appointments. Okay. But looking for couriers, please make sure that you reach out to me, please. What is other ones I've seen? Attire. I don't know why people complain about attire. Why wouldn't you want to look your best when you're completing any type of customer service? transaction, especially because you're representing your business. And then if you don't care as much to represent your business in a professional way, at least represent the people you're working with. Because again, we're not working for them, we're working with them. So you are a representation of your client. So I make it easy. I have shirts that I have made, and I wear slacks and loafers. Sometimes I wear my Vans because they're really comfortable and they match with what I'm wearing. Especially look really cute with my slacks. And make sure that your hair looks accordingly. Make sure that you don't smell bad. I mean, I don't know why these are things that we have to discuss, but I hear things and I see things and it's not good. Okay. Show up with a purpose. Okay. What is your purpose? To provide a service, a professional service, you know? And these contracts and documents, they're legally binding. So you're doing some legal work too. So, I mean, it's just like business professional, guys. Okay. We shouldn't be wearing jeans, although it is acceptable for men. You guys can wear jeans and a polo with, some nice shoes. For women, not so much. Okay. We got to wear slacks and no leggings, no jeans, no cut up pants. That's not how you want to, no flip flops. Okay. I'm in Florida. I get it. It's hot, but I'm not showing up to a signing in flip flops. I'm just not doing that. Okay. I have comfortable shoes that I can wear. You can keep a comfortable pair of nice professional looking shoes in your car if you do want to walk around in flip flops. That way you could at least change your shoes. But we shouldn't be showing up in flip flops, guys. Like, seriously. Um, what are some other things that people have been talking about in the group? It's just um, people talking down on people for wanting to shadow. Oh, yes, Stephanie. Yes. No shorts either. I wear a skirt, but no shorts, definitely. Talking down on people because they're asking to shadow. You can shadow people, okay? It can be where you're just with them, witnessing. You could be my witness and shadow me. Yes, me too. I have heard some horror stories on how notaries have dressed for appointments. I've heard about notaries showing up intoxicated, high. It's like, what in the world? And those are the same notaries who are telling people in these Facebook groups that there's no business out here. You can't make any money as a notary. No, you're not going to make any money as a notary because you're not showing up right. You're not showing up right. Okay. So, no, you're probably not going to make the money. Okay. And as many notaries as there are out here, guys, you really don't have, first, you don't have a lot of people who are doing notary. They have their notary commission and have had it for years and they're doing nothing with it. You have notaries who don't know what they're doing and they're trying to cut corners every which way and they're messing up documents. I can attest to this because I get a lot of customers who call me because they've gotten a notary done and the documents were not right and now they got to get them done again and they don't want to go back to that notary. So there is not an oversaturation of notaries. There is a shortage of good notaries. And so if you want to be a notary, make sure that you are a good notary. A good notary is someone who is patient, someone who um, knows their state handbook so they know what they're doing, they know what they can and cannot do, they know what they're looking at when they see documents, and they're able to answer customers' questions without hesitation. And even if you are asked a question and you don't know the answer, at least be able to find it. Be resourceful. That's a good notary. That's a great notary, as a matter of fact. All right. So, yeah. Um, if you guys can think of anything else that I did not touch base on, please let me know. Drop it in the comment. If you are watching a replay of this, please comment because I would really like to know what are some of the things you've seen in notary groups, and I would like to comment on it because we need to talk about it. Like, it's real life. Notary is not for play. It's not something that's just here and nobody's actually doing it. I'm doing it. and I do it full time, and I have a family. And for those of you who watched my interview with Mark Wills and have said so many nice things, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for finding my story relatable because it is real. It's real life, and we're all going through our little own little thing. And it's important that we can see that we're not alone. Like you're not alone in what you're going through. Okay, you are not going through this alone. There are several different people who went through exact or are going through exactly what I went through. Okay, and they're just trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm grateful that I did. And this is how I was able to take all these vacations back to back. There's no way my job would have approved all that vacation time. They'd be like, "Girl, you already went on 2 trips." Okay, no, we're not approving that. But in my position I'm in now, I can just go when I want to. Now, when I do travel, there are some things that I do have to take into consideration. Money, okay? You're not going to be making any money if you're not here to make the money. But what my mother taught me, because she's been a business owner for several years, ever since I was in preschool, she would work more than usual so that when she got back, there wouldn't be any gaps. And so I didn't do that in May, and it kicked me in the butt. But I did it these past couple of trips. I worked my butt off. And because I did, I see what my mother was talking about. So even though I've made a whole lot more than what I usually would make, I just put the extra to the side because I still got to pay myself, on a regular basis. So I don't need to just take all of that, like, oh, okay, cool. No, put that over to the next, put the extra here, there, have a little bit. I'm working with Simply Noble Services to create budgets for myself because I do need to make sure I have that vacation budget put to the side. So if you guys are interested in doing any type of budgeting, getting some insight and advice on that, Simply Noble Services is who you want to reach out to. Okay. Her email is put in the chat. But yeah, you just have to plan it out. Okay. You can't just up and go, but you plan things out, and when you come back, you just jump right back into, you know, the regular routine schedule, which is what I did. And I'm very grateful that my mother, you're welcome, Stephanie, very grateful that my mother taught me that because it was really important. Because, like I said, in May, I dropped the ball. I was like, what? And, anything that you do the month before, you see it in the month after. And I was not happy. Not happy at all. So Stephanie says the benefits of working for yourself is so rewarding. It is. It really is. So I think that was all that I saw in the groups that I can remember to speak on. Like I said, I know it's been some time. If you guys can think of any other points that I did not talk about, please let me know because I would like to be able to come back and comment on it, and maybe I can even do it on our next video. Okay, so I am going to go because I have an early morning signing. Hi, Michael. Oh, you came right in the end, man. I'm about to get off. But you can watch the replay. I was just giving some unfiltered thoughts on hot topics that are in some of the notary groups. But I will catch you guys again next Sunday. Okay, I'm trying not to do it on Monday. And I may have to start changing the days that I come live. I don't know yet. I'll see though. But I will check you guys again on the next time that I am live. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for watching. Bye.